Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are doing a pattern and fabric pairing video, and I want to share with you some inspiration on how I want to design certain looks with these fabrics and patterns that I have selected. So we're going to go ahead and first take a look at this first pattern, which is the New Look in 6794, which come in sizes 8 to 20. And I was really surprised to see that this pattern actually calls for stretch material. So we're looking at wool jersey, ponte, cotton knits, shirt fleece, as well as gabardine, ponte, poplin, crepe, and linen for view B. So I was really surprised when I picked this up. I thought that this pattern was going to be designed for non-stretch woven materials. But I do have a few things in my stash that I can use. I want to go ahead and share with you one of the pieces that I picked up from Fabric Mart that may look good with this, but I also think I might hold off on that fabric to sew this. And I'll share with you what the fabric looks like before we go to talking about this pattern here. So this fabric here is a 97% wool and 3% Lycra fabric. So it's very similar to a gabardine fabric here. And it's really nice, and it has quite a bit of drape to it. So I really do like it. I love the camel color, and I purchased this from Fabric Mart last week when they were having their dollar shipping. So I really do like this, and it's a little bit on the thin side, but I still think that you can use this for suiting and it would be just fine. It doesn't have a lot of stretch in it, as you can see, but I think it will have enough to be able to do what the pattern is calling for. So I thought about that. This next pattern here is the ME2089. So this is a Brittany Jones pattern, the Know Me Brittany Jones pattern that come in sizes 18 to 26. You can get additional sizes, but I got the 18 to 26. And I was thinking about doing a variation of this Burberry coat, and I'll put an image here and show you what that looks like. I think that's just a beautiful coat, or any type of cropped trench coats that we've been looking at when I did the Sew to Trend series. You guys saw a lot of different trench styles, and I would definitely like to recreate something like that. And I thought this pattern would be a really great base pattern to use for that. And so I think that would go well as well, especially if I want to do the Burberry coat. Instead of using this pattern here, I can use this fabric for that. The other option that I have for this pattern here, I purchased some stretch gabardine fabric from Hobby Lobby that I think would be so gorgeous. And I'll put an inspiration picture here so you can see what my idea is for this suiting. And let me get the fabric so you can see what the fabric looks like. So here's the fabric. It's quite heavy. So I do have, I think, 3.5 yards so that I can get a jacket as well as a pair of pants. And because this is a wide fabric, I can definitely get it out of that 3.5 yards, because I think it's like it's over a 60-inch wide fabric. It's pretty wide. So I thought about using this here to make that. The only reservation that I have is that I don't know, again, if I would have enough stretch, because this has even less stretch than the camel colored fabric that I showed you. So I don't know if it'll work. I do have other jacket patterns and pant patterns that I can use. So I thought about this jacket here. I sewed this last year. It is a little bit of a looser fit. I can bring it in a little bit more and have it tailored to my body. As you can see, you do have princess seams. And so I can definitely take advantage of that and bring it in a little bit more. And since I'm familiar with this pattern, because I've sewed this pattern, I would be okay choosing something like this. Next, I picked up this New Look in 6789, which is another crop jacket. So we're looking at brocade, jacquards, linen, linen blends, twill, seersucker, wool, and wool blends, and then also sateen and satin. and you need your lightweight fusible interfacing. I think I called out all the different fabrics, brocade, jacquards. So yeah, it does look like it's a really great pattern. And as you can see, view A, she's wearing a tweed. So tweed is going to be in that same family here as your wool and your wool blends. And I don't have a specific fabric in mind for this one yet because I don't have any tweed. I do have quite a few jacquard type fabrics that I can try my hand at. But for now, I'm just going to try to look for some tweed fabric and maybe try to recreate a Chanel type jacket. And I'll put images here. I don't know if you guys remember that beautiful black and white tweed jacket that I shared with you guys in the fashion trend video. But I think something like that would be so nice with this pattern here. And I thought this jacket pattern would definitely be something that I can recreate that with. I also picked up this pattern here, the new look in 6792. You get this in the sizes 4 to 16. I do like the different panels in this, and I would definitely do either C or D. I don't have specific inspiration in mind for this yet, or a fabric either, but I do love the pattern and I want to be able to sew this real soon. I got a copy of the Mimi G Simplicity S3036 in the size 18 to 26. And it is the pants that you see here. I really wish she included this beautiful sweater pattern that she's wearing as well. So this is calling for cotton blends, double knit, lightweight denim, as well as linen blends, ponte, stretch wovens, wool, and wool blends. So you do have quite a few different fabrics that you can choose for this. And so when I did my the video release for this, I thought it was just going to be stretch fabrics like your sweatshirt type fabrics and things of that nature. But seeing that you can sew different, you can use different fabrics to sew with this, I thought that I would give this a chance as well. I also picked up a copy of the Simplicity S3009, and I purchased the 16 to 24 groups of sizes. When I first saw this, I thought, I don't know. But after looking at a lot of the different inspirations that's coming out of the high fashion and designer styles and things of that nature, I decided I might give this a chance. I absolutely loved that beautiful mink that I saw. And I thought, hey, I can definitely recreate something like that. Normally, I wouldn't go for jackets that have like a crop sleeve, but I think this would be pretty good. I think, wearing it, layering it will be just fine. You can put, a sweatshirt or something like that underneath of it if you want to keep warm. So I definitely want to try this. And the fabric suggestions are faux fur, fur-like fleece, minky fleece, tweed, wool blends. You can even do your contrast for view C, and cotton blends, faux leather, micro suede, and satin materials. And so, yeah, I thought that would be something that I could try. The Simplicity S3032. Now, while I don't really know exactly what I want to sew with this, I have a few different ideas in mind, and I will share with you one of those fabrics here in a moment. So I thought about using this fabric here. Now, I was going to use a different Simplicity pattern because I thought, I really did like the silhouette, but because it had princess seams and I was really unsure as to whether or not I wanted to break up those, cut the flowers and break up these beautiful flowers, I just decided to go with a garment that did not have princess seams. And this one, you do have darts in the front, but I think that would be okay. I think it's better than princess seams. You could probably get a better match with your fabric when you're folding, a dart, when you're doing a dart instead of actually cutting it and then resewing it. I think that's the fabric that I'm going to use for it. This is the last pattern that I have to share, but I do have more fabric that I want to share. So stay tuned. I will get to the fabric here. So this pattern here is an older pattern. It's not from the latest Birder release, but I thought that I would give this a try as well because I've been sewing a lot of shirts and shirt dresses lately. So I wanted to try this Birder style 5, 8 to 6 and the sizes 10 to 21. And I'm particularly interested in view B. So view A, it's just basically it's view B, but you have this additional overlay that you're attaching to the front to make it look like it's a wrap dress, but it really isn't. It's a shirt dress that has an overlay on it. It's a really interesting design. Here's the line art here. Very interesting. I don't know about this one yet, but this here, I think I want to recreate. I think it's a Ralph Lauren dress, and if I can find the image, I'll put it here. But I have a few different ideas here. Let me share with you the fabric here. So this is a cotton linen blend, and I think it's like 60% cotton and 40% linen, or either 60% linen and 40% cotton. I can't remember, but it is on a narrow width. So it's like 43 inches. So I had to get quite a bit in order to achieve the looks that I want to go for. So I either want to make this dress here, or there's another pattern that I want to work on, and it's a longer variation of something that looks similar to this, but I think it has buttons going all the way down the center front. Let me see if I can find the pattern. Okay, so here's the pattern, and it's the Simplicity 8546 in sizes 16 to 24. So it is an older pattern, but it's definitely in print. And I was thinking about doing either view A or B. So I do have enough to do either one of these variations. And honestly, it would make more sense to do the longer variation so I can save my fabric and not waste it. Same here. If I were to do this, I would definitely lengthen it so that I'm not wasting my fabric. So I haven't decided which one I want to do yet. If I want to do a full button placket or a half a button placket. So that's where I'm at with this fabric here. And like I said, the inspiration is a Ralph Lauren dress that I want to recreate. So here is a closer look of the fabric. Like I mentioned before, it is a cotton linen blend, and I purchased it from Joann. It's quite thin, so I would definitely use it as like a duster or a cover up in the winter and the spring, and in the summer and early fall I can use it as a dress. So that was my plan with this. So I have a couple more pieces that I want to share with you before I close out the video. So this is a corduroy fabric that I purchased from Fabric Wholesale Direct, and I purchased 3 yards of this, and this is a lovely brown thin-wailed corduroy, and I want to make a blazer, and I'll share with you an image of what that blazer looks like. And this lining material I purchased off of Amazon, and I think it was like, I don't know, $5 or $6 a yard or something like that. And so that's going to be the lining for the inside of that. And I'm thinking about, like I said, making a blazer for that. And I purchased that from Fabric Wholesale Direct. And then lastly, I purchased these 2 pieces, which are sweater fabrics that I purchased from Fabric Mart Fabrics. And they are pretty light in weight, and I'm really happy about that. Actually, I thought it would be, you know, a little bit thicker because I do want to put this either underneath that corduroy jacket or any other blazers that I make this season, because I don't want to have something too heavy. You know, have a sweater underneath of a jacket would be just very hot. And so I wanted something a little bit more thin. This is definitely thin. So I'm thinking about using this to make a few sweater tops. And I thought about the deer and doe pattern. I'll put that here so you can see what it looks like. There's a beautiful deer and doe sweater pattern that I was thinking about sewing this year, as well as a few other sewing patterns that I absolutely love. My tried and true Simplicity pattern, I think it's Simplicity S8983 or something like that, which I think would be really good for these as well. So those are the different fabrics that I had picked up for that. So I want to go back real quick to that corduroy piece so that I can share with you what pattern that I might use for that. So again, for this corduroy piece, it's a really nice thin welt corduroy. I was thinking about using either a jacket pattern that's similar to this. Now again, I was very, very disappointed to learn that this called for stretch woven fabrics, because my whole idea of sewing blazers rested on these types of fabrics. And so because it's not calling for corduroy, I'm a little bit nervous to kind of use something like this, because the corduroy is way more stable than a pontoon knit. So I'm not sure about that yet. I have to do a few mock-ups to see. And if I do mock-ups in, say, like a muslin fabric, like a cotton muslin fabric, and if it turns out that the drape is kind of similar to what I'm going for, then I might go ahead with my plans. But if not, I think I might just go ahead with this one here and cinch in that waist like I was talking about with the other fabric, and do more of a closer fitting look instead of a looser look here. So those are my plans and what I am thinking about doing with these different fabrics and patterns. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. I hope to hear from you and what you are thinking about creating this month. Let me know if you have purchased any of these patterns and if you've used these patterns, and give me some comments or feedback on those patterns as well. I hope you all have a happy sewing week, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye.